Newlywed Sherry Rasmussen was murdered in a tragic case that led to a remarkable discovery.
An unfortunate, brutal crime of passion.
At just 16 years old, Sherry started college.
Very intelligent, skipped numerous grades, and she had a drive to really revolutionize the field of nursing.
She soon became the director of nursing at a Los Angeles medical center where she met an engineer named John Rutten.
They were quickly married by November of 1985.
A few months into their marriage, John came home from work to find Sherry's BMW missing from the driveway. When he entered the house, he discovered her lifeless body in the living room.
She had been shot 3 times.
There were signs of a struggle, with bruises on her face and a broken vase shattered nearby.
The investigating criminalists observed a bite on Rasmussen's arm and took a crucial swab from the site of the injury. John Rutten was quickly ruled out as a suspect in his wife's murder, as he had a solid alibi and no easily found motive.
Police concluded that Sherry was a victim of a burglary gone wrong.
The abandoned BMW was recovered a week later, but unfortunately, it yielded no new evidence.
Sherry's father had another theory.
Her family suspected that there was an ex-girlfriend of John who may have been involved in Sherry's murder.
That ex-girlfriend was named Stephanie Lazarus. Sherry's father mentioned to police that prior to Sherry's death, she felt threatened by Stephanie.
But they say detectives ignored them.
Overwhelmed by the late 80s crime wave in LA, police soon lost focus on Sherry's investigation, but her father pushed forward.
He badgered law enforcement to open the case and to do DNA testing, even offering to pay for it himself.
Eventually, the case was reopened.
23 years later, in 2009, the Los Angeles Police Department's cold case unit picked up the case.
Old evidence was finally being processed.
DNA tests on a swab taken from a bite mark on Sherry's arm yielded a bombshell.
The DNA belonged to an unknown female. Feeling that this ruled out a burglary, detectives dug deeper into their evidence, and one name kept standing out.
A veteran detective who had risen through the ranks of the LAPD, Stephanie Lazarus.
The detectives worked on the case covertly, sorting through files from decades ago.
They presumed that it would be better to commit a crime on a day off, and departmental records show that Lazarus had indeed been off the day Sherry was killed.
Trailing Stephanie while she was off duty, detectives were able to collect a cup that she discarded to sample for her DNA.
The evidence led detectives to one of their own.
Stephanie was brought in for an interview before being arrested.
Some of Sherry's friends said that you and her were having a problem because of the John situation.
Searching her home afterwards, police found journals from the late 80s where Stephanie had confessed her deep love for John.
They told of times when Stephanie Lazarus told Sherry, "If I cannot have John, nobody can."
On trial, John admitted that while engaged to Sherry, he had a sexual relationship with Stephanie.
She had even thrown John a surprise 25th birthday party, and it was here that John told her he was seeing someone. Stephanie was devastated.
After John finally cut things off, jealousy drove Stephanie to kill the woman that stood in her way.
I'm crazy.
Stephanie was sentenced to 27 years in prison, but Sherry's loved ones felt that this final justice was bittersweet at best.
I don't believe that you can understand the grief.
I just miss her so much.